Hey there, today's video is on the 7 best things about living in Riverton, Utah. And Riverton was the city that we chose to move to 2 years ago from Nashville, Tennessee, when we relocated. So I can share exactly some of the things that I actually like about living in Riverton, some of the things that I don't like, and I'm getting after it right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman, and I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So if you want to learn everything about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here from someone that's not from here, then click the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified every time I do new videos. I've been getting a ton of people that are just like you that are reaching out to me about making that move here to Salt Lake City or to Riverton, and I absolutely love it. So if that's you, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to talk to you more about your journey here to Salt Lake City. So you wanted to know what the 7 best things were. So if you hang around till the end, I will give you my honest opinion about what I liked about Riverton and why we moved to Harriman. All right, so the median sold price here in Riverton has fluctuated every month so far in 2023. We've gone from a $516,000 price all the way up to $599,000 median sales price. And currently, right now in July, we are tracking at $555,000 median sales price. So it's kind of all over the board as far as where the median sale price is. All right, so as far as the average price goes, which is different than median, the average listed home price was $620,000, and the average closed price fluctuated this year from $561,000 to $625,000. So it's really just going to depend on which home you're after, whether you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, condo, townhome, all of that. But that's one of the things that you're going to reach out to me so that I can help you on. Let's look at some of the current prices here right now in Riverton on my website, thespackmangroup.com. All right, so I opened up my website. Right now you can see it's sorted by highest price, just to give you an idea. You can spend 4.4 million, 2.6, 2.2, 2, 1/8, down to 1.3, and that sort of thing. So let's see what I do for you guys is just show you what's newest. That gives you a really good idea of what's coming on the market. And so we have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home right here, $549. Here's a $675, $530. Then here is $369. So these would be condos, townhomes, right in this range. $750 for 6-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,400 square foot. So you're gonna see here's a $550, $468. So really, it just depends what your budget is, what you're looking for, whether it's a condo, townhome, or single-family home, and what size lot you want, how many bedrooms and baths, and that sort of thing. One of the interesting things about Riverton is a lot of the layouts of the homes have like really, really small kitchens, and then the family room is kind of small. So it's just interesting that that's how they did their layouts. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what some of the home prices are currently here in Riverton. Next up on the list is the number 2 reason why I love living in Riverton, and that's Bangerter access. So Bangerter is the main highway that you're going to be using, and it's pretty awesome to get around. So let me show you that on the map real quick. All right, so I opened up the map here. You can see Riverton highlighted here in the middle of the map, highlighted in red. And Bangerter is this road right here that wraps kind of around it, right? It tucks right up against it, right here by the Walmart Supercenter down here. This is Bangerter. So Bangerter goes all the way up to the airport. That's where it dead ends. So this week, for instance, I took my son to the airport. I just got on Bangerter and was at the airport. He had an early flight, which was awful. I had to have him there at 4 a.m., but there was no traffic. I was one of the few cars that was on it, and it took like 22 minutes to get to the airport. So it was super smooth. I hit almost green lights the whole way. But Bangerter is awesome once you are here and you're using it because it has underpasses or overpasses. They've been expanding Bangerter by adding overpasses and underpasses on it. And right now they are working on where there used to be the Big Daddy Pizza is what we called it, that intersection. And then once that is underway and completed, you'll be able to get all the way from Riverton to West Jordan without having to stop at all, which will make it even more incredible. And then when you go the other way, when you go around down this way and get on Bangor or going over to I-15, there is one place where you're going to have to stop, which is pretty crappy because I hit that light pretty much every time that I go on Bangor. But once you're past that one, then it's smooth sailing all the way to I-15. And they were supposed to be doing that one. They've delayed that. The worst one is probably 134, which is right here. And that one's going to need to be done as well. So that one will be a nightmare whenever they do decide to do that. But Bangor, you're going to find, is one of your favorite ways to get around. It's super quick. And then just to the west of it, this one here is called Mountain View Corridor. And it has stoplights every so often, so it's not as fast to use. It is fast if you're just going around Riverton and Harriman. It's super nice and convenient to get around rather than taking some of the surface roads. So you're going to find that you really love Bangor. The number 3 thing that I love about living in Riverton is all the shopping. So Riverton is an established city. It's been here a while. It's pretty well built out. There are some farmland left where they're building new construction homes in, and every so often one of them will sell off their 5 or 10 acre little parcel, and then they'll build new homes on it. But the shopping is amazing. They have this new place to go called the Mountain View Village, and that's where they have the Cinemark Theater. They have a Harmon's grocery store. They have a ton of other shopping and restaurants and places for you to enjoy in there. The Shake Shack is just about to open. Same thing with the Panera Bread, but that's pretty amazing. I'll show you that where that's at right now. So this is Mountain View Village, shopping right in here. While it looks kind of small, you have your Home Goods and TJ Maxx, Burlington, Famous Footwear. There's even PetSmart in there where I've been getting my dog food at for Archie. Then you have the Harmon's right here. They have a Harmon's gas station, which is typically pretty affordable gas. They have a Chase Bank in here, Chick-fil-A. The Super Chicks opened not that long ago, which that's kind of a decent place to eat. And then they also have a Chipotle right next to it. Cafe Zupa's, Handel's Homemade Ice Cream is right here. Zao, the Good Feed store. There's a Verizon store in here. Mod Pizza, Chip Cookies. So there's a ton of different cookie places. So Chip would be one to try if you're a cookie fan. Saffron, Ichiban. This place, the Japanese Express right here. I'll go to at least once a month to get teriyaki chicken with white rice. It's pretty good. There's a sandwich shop right here, the T-Mobile store, Rita's Ice Cream and Custard, which is pretty good. Orange Theory Fitness. And then across the way, which is part of it as well, they have Coconut Grill. They just opened, so I haven't tried it yet. There's a sweet rolled taco place. Via 313 is one of the better pizza places here. It's like Detroit style pizza, so it's pretty good. The Crack Shack, we haven't tried it yet, but it's not what we thought it would be. We thought it was going to be like a breakfast place, but it's more like a chicken place that's for lunch or dinner. R&R Barbecue, there's a Hello Sugar, which is these little tiny mini donuts that are super good, so you should try that. This is where the Panera Bread's going. The Shake Shack is right there. Then there's a Nike store, Lululemon, Rula, Lovesac. So if you haven't heard of Lovesac, they make these really cool furniture with like speakers and USB ports and stuff built into it. So that's cool. Van store. Then the Dirty Bird, which is someplace that I've been wanting to try for chicken. They have a Kona Grill that's just about to open. There's a Burgers and Barley, Stack 571, Wildfin. So you got a bunch of different places, and then the movie theater is right behind the Dirty Bird, kind of. So it doesn't really show that on the map as well as what it is. There's a Sprinkles Cupcake place and this Mexican place here that I can't pronounce. It's pretty high end. They have some Wagyu beef that's in there, so it's not a cheap place to eat like you would think. Bath and Body Works. So you just have a ton of different restaurants and shopping that's in this little center here. And this is on the far west side of Harriman. So as you can see here when I scroll out, it's really Harriman. So they fully owned, I feel, Harriman for shopping, because this is where anyone that lives in Harriman, where I live now, we go to Mountain View Village all the time. to shop and to eat and stuff, where we would be spending our money in Harriman, but there just isn't that much in Harriman for you to do right now. The main thing of Riverton, where it's going to have the most stuff, is on this road that has the In-N-Out Burger. It has Crumble. There's just a ton of other little shopping and places for you to eat along this main road here, 12,600 or 126th Street. Riverton just has a ton of shopping and restaurants that you're going to be able to enjoy eating at. And so Riverton has a ton of places for you to eat and shop at. Some places I didn't show you on the map. So they also have a Lowe's and a Home Depot for you to shop at. So that's number 3, all the shopping that you have. And number 4 thing on the list, all the fun things you get to do in Riverton and the places you get to eat. They have a bowling alley called the Delton Lanes Bowling. My son is actually bowling today while I'm shooting this video for you. They do some special thing during the summertime where if you have your own shoes, you get 2 games for free. So he's there doing his 2 games for free because he bought his shoes and wants to recover the cost of the shoes. But some other neat places to eat in Riverton would be the Black Bear Diner, Salsalitos if you're into Mexican food, Pink Sweets Cafe, Crumble Cookies, Via 313, which I mentioned already, Wild Fun American Grill, Stack 571. They have an In-N-Out Burger. They just opened the original Pancake House, and this place is packed. The food is amazing, so it's something you need to definitely go and try if you're a breakfast person at all. They have one elsewhere. We used to go to the one, I think, in Sandy and eat there, but it would always be really, really busy to eat at. So this one in Riverton, I'm sure, is just going to stay packed. Every time I drive by there, the parking lot's full for breakfast. And then something else fun for you to do is the Riverton has their own rodeo at the Riverton City Park. So if you're into the rodeo at all, or you got to get your tickets early because it does sell out every year. The number 5 best thing about living in Riverton is Riverton got its own Costco. And while this may not be a big deal, it's a big deal because Costco typically has gas that's anywhere from 3 cents to 25 cents a gallon cheaper than everywhere else in town. So we have a Costco membership, and I've already paid for it this year just in gas alone, and $60 for your membership. And we've easily saved $60 in the amount of gas that my wife and I have used, and our son easily. So that's a plus. The gas lines at the Riverton one are not full, so hopefully that word doesn't get out. But if you go to like the South Jordan Costco, it has a line for you to get gas. Riverton does not have a line, so that's why I really like it. And then everything else that you can shop at Costco for. We just went yesterday and we got chicken and ground beef. And then we went over and got food afterwards with my 2 sons. We just got some hot dogs. Hot dogs are $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink. And then they get an ice cream sundae. So it's relatively inexpensive to eat at Costco. And my kids absolutely love it. So that's a plus too. They never complain about having to go shop at Costco. The number 6 thing on the list about living in Riverton is probably my favorite thing about Riverton, and that's the Danny R. Crump. Here I am walking towards the lake over here in Riverton, the Riverton Pond, the Danny R. Crump Pond. So I'll give you a quick view of that. You park over here in the parking lot. It's really not very far, and then they have the water center there. They got a nice cell tower. Fishing regulations. Pause there. 2 fish limit. Got to be 12 years or older, and then you have to have a license. Have this little bridge that you cross, which I've never really seen much water in it. So anyhow, this pond is filled with wiper, catfish, and then trout. And trout are in it during the other parts of the year when it's not hot like it is now. And then they actually close this down over the winter and drain most of it. But anyhow, here's just a quick little view. That's Bangor Highway out to the side. There's my favorite little fishing spot by that structure over there. We've caught fish almost anywhere around here, and there are tons of ducks throughout the year. or geese or whatever those things are. Anyhow, just wanted to share real quick with you. Have a good one. And then they have this really cool park with pavilions that are right across the street from the lake. But the pond is amazing. We go, I don't know, 4 to 10 times a year, somewhere in that range. And we'll go catch catfish. We haven't been able to catch any trout out of there as of yet, but at some point we will. But during the summertime, we catch catfish, and catfish are really good the way that I cook them, just with butter, onions, garlic on a pan. And it's amazing. And they'll do some sort of rice pilaf typically with it, and my kids just devour it. And it's awesome. Catfish to me has one of the, I guess it doesn't have a real fishy taste to me, so it's really, really good. But anyhow, to fish there, we will go at night and fish typically somewhere around 7, 8 p.m. when it starts to cool off and the sun isn't beating on you. And then we have our little area that we love to fish at. If you reach out to me, I'll share with you that, but I'm not going to post in the video where we like to catch fish because I don't need my spot to be full every time we want to go there. So that's number 6. The Riverton Pond, and then the little park by it. The number 7 best thing about living in Riverton is the Riverbend Golf Course. So if you're a golfer, this is a great course. It's one of the top 10 courses in the state of Utah for you to golf at. It's amazing. I've heard nothing but good things about the golf course. Anyone that's golfed there has told me that it's really, really good. And the greens are kept up and the grass is good and everything else. So you do have your own golf course in Riverton that you'll be able to enjoy if you're a golfer. And then I wanted to throw a bonus thing in before I share with you what if I would live in Riverton and what I loved about Riverton. So the bonus item today is the Riverton Hospital, and I've been to the hospital a couple times. They have an urgent care in the bottom floor, but the hospital is really, really nice. It's super big, so it's super, super easy to get to because it's right off Bangerter. It's a giant hospital, and the parking is pretty easy to park at, and the people there are super nice. So that's why I have that as a bonus item. So now, hopefully you've made it this far and you wanted to hear my thoughts about Riverton. And so when we relocated 2 years ago to Salt Lake City, we had to look at all the different cities and come up with where we would live and how we would live. And I've been a realtor for 8 years, so I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the things. However, Utah does stuff differently, so I've had to adjust and learn all their different rules. But we settled on Riverton for a couple reasons. One of the reasons was my wife actually works in Riverton for her job, and so I wanted it to be close to that. I wanted a city that didn't feel like it was super, super old, so I wanted like newer stuff. Riverton has all the new stuff with the Mountain View Village and then some of the other shopping, so it didn't feel like I was going back in time, which is what I didn't want for myself. The schooling, we looked online at the schoolings. Most of the schooling seems to be about the same here. Draper seems to have a little bit better on the schooling side, but I didn't want to be 20 minutes from my wife's work. Then I looked at where my KW office that I was going to join was going to be. They're in South Jordan, so they are just up Bangerter, and they're super close. They have something called the District that we go to all the time in South Jordan for shopping, and they have a Megaplex movie theater. And so we wanted something like that close to us. At the time, they didn't have the Cinemark built, but now we have Cinemark and Megaplex that we can go to for movies since we enjoy going to the movies. It was convenient because Riverton is right off Bangerter, and when we were here driving around, we just really liked this the Southwest Valley side. So that meant we were looking at West Jordan, South Jordan, Harriman, Riverton, Draper, Bluffdale, and Sandy, kind of. Those were our main target cities. So we drove through all the different cities, and I think it just basically came down to my wife wanted to be 2 or 3 minutes away from work, so we moved to Riverton. And then we were there for a little bit, and then we had to move due to some unforeseen circumstances. I'll share that with you if you ever ask me in person why we moved to Harriman. But we ended up moving to Harriman, which is right next door to Riverton. So it didn't change much. I think it made my wife's drive 12 minutes instead of 2 minutes to work. But Harriman is a great city as well. And so that's kind of why we chose Riverton when we first moved. And would I move back to Riverton? Absolutely, in a heartbeat, I would move to Riverton without a doubt. There's nothing that I didn't like about Riverton. It is a great city to choose from. If you're thinking about making that move here to the Salt Lake City area or to Riverton, please reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I can go over the different cities, what some of the pros are and cons of every city pretty much around this area, because we looked at all of them when we were relocating. So I understand that. I also understand as a parent with 5 kids what that's like to deal with. So we had to look into schooling as well and all of that. So please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and let's get you on your way here to Salt Lake City. Until next time, be rad.